Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, one and all, to Fourth and a Mile, presented by Planet Adam. I am your host, the Pharaoh of Planet Adam, or God King, if you will. I am Adam Fernandez, and look at your boy. He went out and got his hair did. He is looking sexy. You cannot tell me that I'm not. I look amazing. This was the first time that I've had a woman barber, because I'm not trying to be sexist here, but typically the best barbers on the planet are gay men. I'm going to straighten this out just a little bit there. There we go. They typically tend to be straight men, or gay men. I don't know why, but it's true. They are always the best. But yesterday I went over to Great Clips, had this one woman barber, and she was meticulous. She was fantastic. And she's got your boy looking sexy as hell. Admit it, this is the sexiest hair you've ever seen. It is as full and thick a head of hair and luscious in all its glory as any head of hair you've ever seen. But enough about my hair. Let's get on to me now. So we got a lot to talk about. I already told y'all my name is Adam Fernandez, in case y'all haven't heard of me, or in case y'all haven't seen the show, because we are doing both the audio and visual recordings right now. So welcome all to Fourth and a Mile. We are going to try to keep this one actually relatively short today, because it is the first full day of college football when there's a bunch of, or where there are several games that actually really matter. So I do want to kind of sit down and try to watch as much as I can. We are going to be giving you guys my picks here in a little bit, and I've already selected some. I told some people that if they wanted to, if they wanted a game, to hear what my pick was for that game, to go ahead and let me know. Unfortunately, nobody ever pays attention to me on social media, so didn't happen. But I'll tell you what, starting next week, if you guys want to get my picks for any game, whether it be college or NFL, let me know, and I'll give you my pick. And I like to go a little more thorough. Oh, App State is just increasing their ass whooping of East Carolina. They're now up 23-6. You guys are seeing this a lot later than it actually has been recorded, or you guys will probably actually get the audio version way before the video version comes out. So that being said, let's get into a couple stories. But first, I tell you guys this every episode. If you or someone you know has music that wants to have it be out there on the airwaves to be heard, go ahead and send it over my way. I will put it on the show for intro, the middle song, the outro. It can be on either one of the platforms. Send it my way, and if it's, music that's not too offensive to where it'll get banned from YouTube or banned from Spotify here, or Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts, or anywhere that you can find your local podcast or your podcasts, as long as it doesn't get me banned from there, I don't have a problem putting it on my show. We are now at almost a full week without cigarettes, and let me tell you, it is killing me. It is killing me. But we're moving on. We're pressing on. We're good. But so let's get into some of the news here. Some of the stories that I picked up earlier today. Just a follow-up on this Bishop Sycamore. I don't remember if I told you guys or not that Roy Johnson was fired as the head coach on Monday. The governor of Ohio is starting an investigation into them to see how this happened. And we now have a little more facts, I guess, on what kind of loans or what kind of monies are owed to different entities by this school. Let's see, hotel rooms in Canton, Ohio, that were paid for with bad checks, went out for a total of $3,596. That's just $4 south of 300 or 3,500 and or $3,600. See, I can do my math sometimes. Sometimes. Funny part is my dad's was a math teacher. He retired. But let's see. So you got that one. There was a investigator for the Ohio High School Athletic Association named Ben Faree. I believe I'm saying his name correctly. He was quoted in The Athletic as saying, "I've been trying to bring these people to some sort of justice for years. To see it all starting to come crashing down is equal parts happy and upsetting." The reason he's saying he's upset about it was because when he was investigating, nobody was doing anything about it. He was investigating it. He was coming up with facts and with leads. Nobody was touching it. Now that it goes on to ESPN, after he's done investigating it, it goes on ESPN and that sham of a football game happened. Now people are paying attention to it. And so that's why he's kind of upset about it. And I can't say I blame him at all, to be honest with you. The idea behind this Bishop Sycamore, I don't really think that this was the idea. I think the idea was that they were scamming people for money. But according to the higher ups at Bishop Sycamore, is that it was supposed to be the IMG Academy of the Midwest. But again, unpaid bills and investigations basically shut it down. But the fact of the matter is that this has been going on for a couple years with Bishop Sycamore. Before that, it was another school. The Christians of Faith Academy was the name of that other school. It's been going on for several years now, and nobody has stopped them until now. Until ESPN brought them on their channel to play a game where they get destroyed. Is anybody starting to do anything about it now? So you kind of have to give ESPN some credit there. They didn't know that Bishop Sycamore was a fake school. And the students on the football team, they're still saying that it wasn't. I don't believe that at all. They were going to a different school, a different online curriculum school for kids that were having issues with grades, is essentially what the school that they were going to. That school themselves say on their website say they have nothing at all to do with Bishop Sycamore. So, he was trying to, and at this time I'm talking about Roy Johnson, was trying to get these players to believe that it was going to be like Last Chance U. I don't know if any of y'all have ever seen Last Chance U on Netflix. I love the show. Alyssa has sat with me several times, and she rolls her eyes every time I watch it, but I love that show. Where it's, kids getting a second chance to play college football, and that's kind of what he was saying was the idea behind this school. At the same time, they're supposed to be the IMG Academy. So are you Last Chance U or are you IMG Academy? Those are two way different ventures. So, but the Christians of Faith Academy fizzled in its first year. Johnson tried to build that Midwest version of IMG Academy again using the same playbook, which was essentially getting on or playing these games against these big schools, getting blown out, and possibly getting noticed by some football players that would want to come and start building up the program. That was the idea, according to Johnson. Again, I don't believe that's the case at all. I believe what the case was they were getting these schools, these bigger schools, these IMG academies. What are some of the other schools? I'm trying to see the names here. Oh man. Anyways, but some of these other schools that are known national high school football powers, like IMG Academy, like St. Thomas Aquinas, schools like that. They were trying to get them to pay for the travel. They would go down to the hotels, pay with a bad check, and then guess who pockets the cash? So these guys were Johnson and Richardson were misrepresenting themselves as officers of the African Methodist Episcopal Church. The African Methodist Episcopal Church says, we have nothing to do with these guys. We don't know who they are. So there's a lot of stuff going on. These guys are these guys are going to go to jail for a long time with just on fraud alone. Let's see, they used some of the money, or they got a loan for a 2017 Range Rover that cost $92,000, wasn't paid for. There's a lot of stuff that they were doing with this money, that they were supposed to be trying to build this school or build this football program, because they weren't trying to build a school. They were trying to build a football program, period. That's all they were trying to do, just to get more money. So, yeah, they were doing a lot of crap, a lot of illegal stuff. This is going to come back, and this is going to haunt them. And when I say it's going to haunt them, I mean it's probably going to haunt a lot of people even outside of this. Schools that were playing them, that didn't do their due diligence on them. At the same time, I don't think it should as much, but I think it will. I think people are going to laugh at IMG Academy now, and they're going to laugh at some of these other schools that that have already played them. So, again, I'll still be keeping my eye out for more on this story. But that is, like, right now, that's the biggest update, is the stuff that's coming out about the guys that led Bishop Sycamore. In more college football news, before we get into the scores, the Big 12 is meeting and talking, trying to keep themselves afloat, trying to keep themselves a school. I don't know what happened there on the video. It looked like it skipped. I don't know why it would have. I didn't tell it to. So it looks like it's still recording, so hopefully we're still good. I'll go back and I'll watch it later to see. It kind of looks like a time skip, but I'll guarantee you I did not do that. That was not part of my editing. So where was I? Yes, the Big 12 are trying to stay afloat, trying to stay legit. The best thing that they can do is try to go to one of these Group of Five, or some of these Group of Five conferences. In this particular case, they're just really going with one Group of Five conference and one independent that's really kind of associated with the Group of Fives, although I'm not 100% sure that they should be. So the schools that they're talking to and trying to recruit to go to the Big 12 are University of Houston, which is in Texas, so of course. University of Memphis, University of Central Florida, which is the game I'm really wanting to watch. I'm hoping it starts soon. The UCF versus Boise State, and the other one is BYU. I think even Boise State would probably be a good idea for a school for them to go after. But as of right now, those are the schools, the four schools that they're trying to get to join them, because we're not exactly sure how long. Right now, Oklahoma and Texas have given their word that they're not going to move to the SEC until 2025. I don't trust Texas to keep their word, and if Texas doesn't keep their word, I'm not going to trust Ohio. I'm not going to trust Oklahoma to keep their word either. It's likely that you'll see Oklahoma and Texas in the SEC, possibly as soon as next year, especially because those road schedules that they're going to go on this year for football, you can expect some really bad feelings from those fans. When Oklahoma goes to play Oklahoma State, you can expect that as bad as they've been treated by the Oklahoma State Cowboy fans before, it's going to be 10 times worse. Texas, if they go and play TCU, or if they go play Baylor, or just any of the Texas schools, expect it to be 10 times worse than anything they've done before, that any other time that they've been there before. The fans are going to be aggressive. They are going to be very insulting. And frankly, you know what I think might happen? I didn't think about this until right now. I would love to see this too. The Big 12 take away that rule of not doing the horns down sign that you know that's in sportsmanlike conduct. Screw that. Texas is jumping ship. Let every school in the Big 12 do the horns down. The fact that they're the only school in the entire country that doesn't get, that you're not allowed to taunt because, and I'm not even talking players, that you're not allowed to taunt because their feelings get hurt. Again, that's part of the reason why nobody wants Texas in their conference. The SEC wants to bring in that money. Outside of that, there's nothing else that they really want from Texas because the attitude that the University of Texas has displayed over the years is something that they don't want. We're going to get more into this on Sunday when I bring Chris on to talk about the SEC and the state of college football, and when he talks about the Texas A&M game that's going to be getting played on Saturday against Kent State. But yeah, so those are the schools though right now that the Big 12 are trying to court to come into the Big 12 and keep the conference alive. And those are, you know what? I forgot Cincinnati. I'm sorry. Who did I say? It was BYU. Maybe it wasn't Memphis. Maybe it was BYU, Cincinnati, Houston, and UCF. I do know that, in fact, you know what? I can take a look right here because I was just looking at the article that I was looking at earlier. Yeah, it's not Memphis. It's BYU, UCF, Cincinnati, and Houston. I'm sorry, Memphis. I'm very sorry for bringing you guys up into that. That's my apologies. I totally forgot about Cincinnati, and frankly, who doesn't forget about the city of Cincinnati? If you're from Cincinnati, I love that city. If you're not from Cincinnati, so those are the teams that they're trying to bring in, trying to recruit. Again, geographical region has gone by the wayside as far as college conferences have gone or are going now. It used to be where the geographical region was the conference. That's a thing of the past. West Virginia being in the Big 12, enough said. Texas A&M being in the SEC, enough said. Missouri in the SEC, enough said. Colorado in the Pac-12. On and on and on. Nebraska in the Big 10. The only team that, or the only conference that still is relatively sticking to their geographical region, relatively, because I don't know if you could consider Louisville part of it, but is the ACC, because at least Louisville, Kentucky is relatively close to the Atlantic coast. So, yeah, geographic region is out the window now, and I think that sucks. That was part. I've told you guys before, I'm a traditionalist when it comes to college football. That is one of the things about college football I absolutely love, is the geographical region conferences. So, all right, guys. With that, I told you we're going to try to keep this show short today, and it's already going up to 20 minutes. We'll be right back. When I get back, I'm going to go over my picks, and yeah, that's where we're going to be. The picks are not going to at all deal with the games going on today. So they're going to be Friday and Saturday, and Sunday and Monday too, because I think there is a game on Monday. So I'm not going to pick that game though, so it doesn't matter. Anyways, so come right back, and I will see you guys on the flip side. I told you I'm going to start saying that from now on because that sounds cool when I say it. It's almost as cool as my hair. Almost. Not quite, but almost. So, see you guys on the flip side. Hey guys, everybody, welcome back to Fourth and a Mile presented by Planet Adam. There are going to be some changes coming up to the show coming real soon, and I'll tell you more about them as they get ready to come up. This is the first time I've done 3 shows in a week in quite some time. And there's a reason for it. I'm trying to get myself ready for what I want to do with the show. So stay tuned, and I'll let you know what's going to be going on with the show, when it's going to be going on, and all that. Let's see, what else was I going to talk about as far as more house cleaning here? Again, music, guys. Send me some music. Send me some music that's not copywritten, because I'm not going to get a copyright strike, and I'm not going to end up owing someone $1 million. Although, let's be honest, it'd probably be more like I owe them like 3 cents, because that's pretty much the amount of people that listen to the show. Yeah, definitely send me some music and it'll come on the show, on the audio or on the video show, either one. I'll put it on either one. Number 3, guys, don't forget, go over to the Twitter, as the kids call it now, the Twitter, Fourth and a Mile Talks at Twitter, and feel free to email me. I told you guys earlier, if you want me to pick a game, whether it be college or NFL, and you want me to kind of break down why I believe so-and-so is going to win, feel free to email me, or, get in my DMs, I think is how the kids say it too now, on Twitter. I also still have the Facebook page going on too, Fourth and a Mile on Facebook. I might start an Instagram just for Fourth and a Mile. In fact, I think I might. I very well might. Let's see. I might have to do that. I do plan on doing a website here soon. That's part of the changes I was telling you about a second ago. So there's a lot of stuff going on Fourth and a Mile. A lot of stuff that I'm really looking forward to at least trying to do. Again, I'm a one-man show now, so one-man shows it's a lot of work, and I do have school still. I still work. I work over 40 hours a week at least. Go to school pretty much every day. There's an assignment that I could get done tonight, but I could get it done tomorrow night too. I'm thinking I'm just going to go ahead and push it off until tomorrow, just because I wanted to do the show. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. We're going to see what we can do. Yeah, so stay tuned again. We might even be venturing into the area of video games and such on YouTube. Might be. I still got to figure out how to do that. If you know how to do that, let me know. I've got a capture card. That's all I know, is that I have a capture card. I'm still trying to figure all that stuff out. So let me know. But okay, let's get back into the more serious stuff. The world-changing stuff, the stuff that matters to everyone throughout history. Let's get into the college football scores, or not the scores so much as just my picks. I'm not going to go over every game. I'm not going to go, I'm not going to do the gambling picks that I used to do, where so-and-so will cover. No, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just going to give you who I think is going to win. a select amount of games. So we're going to start with Virginia Tech and North Carolina. I do believe with Sam Howell as quarterback. I've said this already, guys. I said it a few times over the past couple shows. I really believe UNC is the biggest threat to Clemson, and I find Clemson to be very much vulnerable this year. And it's going to start with Virginia Tech. I expect North Carolina to pretty much, and I'm not going to say like beat them 61-0, but pretty much handle Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech is still a decent school. It's a decent team. But I think right now North Carolina is playing way better football just over the past couple of years. Northwestern and Michigan State. We're going to go with Northwestern. I think Northwestern is just the better team. Michigan State, I think they have a pretty good defense. Their offense lacks a lot. And they have a new quarterback coming on in who's probably still not completely comfortable with the system. Northwestern was in the Big Ten championship game last year. It's kind of hard to give that as a credential, considering that the schools there didn't play a lot of games. I think that was the 6th game for Ohio State. But at the same time, they looked good. They had a good season last year. They're returning a lot of players. I just think Northwestern's a better team. I picked them over Michigan State. Tulane is going into Oklahoma. It was originally supposed to be in Tulane, but Hurricane, is that Ida out there in hitting New Orleans or hitting Louisiana, has moved that game to Oklahoma. So they are going to be playing there. I just don't see any way that. I think Tulane is a good Group of 5 school. I thought last year they had a really good year as a Group of 5 school. I don't see any way possible that they beat Oklahoma. Spencer Rattler's too good. The Oklahoma defense has improved. I don't see any way that Oklahoma doesn't make it to the college football playoff. I think they're by far and away the clear best team in the Big 12. That being said, Tulane doesn't match up very well with them at all. I see Oklahoma taking this one and taking it pretty handily too. At Kyle Field, the Kent State, what are they? The Golden Flashes? Is that who that is? Yeah. Taking on Texas A&M, the Aggies. You can see on my shirt, I got the Texas A&M shirt going on there. This is going to be Haynes King's first start. It's going to be a semi-rebuilt offensive line, or pretty much a rebuilt offensive line. But that doesn't mean that these guys aren't already good. And then on top of that, you've got that phenomenal two-headed monster rushing attack, and then a phenomenal defense. Texas A&M is going to be very scary for a lot of teams this year. I'm looking at you, Alabama. You're going to have to watch out for them. I definitely expect Texas A&M to beat Kent State. It might not be the blowout that a lot of people think, but I think that's going to be that's going to have a lot to do with the fact that it's Haynes King's first game. If you remember, Johnny Manziel, a guy who I've seen in some articles I've read, Haynes King being compared to, Johnny Manziel lost his first game. It was to Florida. It's a whole different monster than Kent State. But he got better over the year. I fully expect that out of Haynes King too. So by the time they go to Alabama, or I guess more like Alabama comes to Texas A&M, that's going to be, I think, a lot closer of a game than what I think Alabama thinks it's going to be. And I think that Haynes King is going to end up being really good, and I think it's something he's going to have to grow into. He did play a little bit last year, so he's got some experience. He didn't play a whole lot, but he did play a little bit, so he does have some experience there. We're going to go next to Gainesville, the Swamp. Your Florida Atlantic Owls. You guys know how I love the Florida Atlantic Owls. Right now I'm wearing the A&M shirt, but I am also a Florida Atlantic fan. We'll be taking on the Gators. The highlight so far, or the big story so far out of this game, is that the Gators are going to be wearing all white, and Florida Atlantic is going to be wearing all red. That's the big story so far. And Kosi Perry, the former Miami Hurricanes starting quarterback, will be starting for Florida Atlantic.